Welcome to College Netted Engineering Mubongani Gumede. Today we'll be doing Mathematics N4 and we'll be doing Differentiation Rules, Part 1. So there are two statements here I want us to read. The first statement says where the letter N, K, and A are your constant. So whatever that I will be doing, whenever you see these three letters, you must know that they can be any number. Then we say where X represents f of x. So your f of x will be represented by the letter x. So I will show you all the rules and the principles that you need to know for your differentiation. The first rule says kx to the power of n. Then if you're asked to derive this, the derivative will be k multiplied by n, then x to the power n minus 1. Remember, y represent your function and dy over dx represent the derivative of your function. So this is the basic rule that we have learned in your grade 12. So now I'll show you the trigonometric functions that you need to know. The derivative of sine is cos. Then we'll say k cos x, but now we need to multiply by the derivative of x. Every time after you change a trigonometric function into another function, you must multiply by the derivative of x, or your f of x. Remember I said f of x is represented by the letter x, so f of x here, it will be x. So always multiply by the derivative of x after changing your function into another function. So the derivative of course is negative sign, so it will have negative k sine x, then multiply by the derivative of x. Remember I said we must always multiply by the derivative. So if we're given something like cos 2x, then our derivative will be equal to negative sine 2x, then multiply by 2. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Let's come to the derivative of tan. It's sec squared. So we'll have k sec squared x, then multiply by the derivative of x. Remember what I said, we are always multiplying by the derivative of x, which is your f of x. So let's come to k cosec x, then the derivative will be negative k cosec x multiplied by cot of x, then multiply by the derivative of x. So we always multiply by the derivative of x. Remember, in your formula sheet you have all these principles, but what they will never show you is that you must multiply by the derivative of x. Then we'll say, okay, let's come to k sec x, then its derivative will be k sec x multiplied by tan x, then multiply by the derivative of x. In a formula sheet it will be exactly like this, but they will never put this statement which says that you must multiply by the derivative of x. Let's say come to k cot of x, then its derivative will be negative k cosec squared x, then multiply by the derivative of x. Then we are done with trigonometric functions. Now let's look at a case where we have a number or a constant to the power of x, or to the power of f of x. Remember, provided that your f of x is your linear function. So if we have a ka to the power of x, then its derivative will be ka x, then multiply by ln of a, then multiply by the derivative of x. So even in this case we are still multiplying by the derivative of x, but look at this, we have ln of a, not ln of k and a. The ln only applies to the a and not to both of them, which is k and a. So let's come to logs. If we have k e to the power of x, this is the most simplest question that you can ever find, or law, because of you just copy it exactly as it is, then you multiply by the derivative of x. This is all that you need to do whenever you are faced with a situation where you have e to the power of x. Okay, let's look at k log of a, then x, then its derivative will be k, then the derivative of x over x multiplied by ln of a. Remember that we said provided that x is your f of x. Okay, let's check. Let's look at the last one, which says k ln of x. Then its derivative will be k, then the derivative of x divided by x. That's it. But some people prefer to write this as k, then they say 1 over x, then multiply by the derivative of x. But otherwise, both ways are correct. So we are done for the basic laws. Let me just do one example, then we will wrap up. What I want to advise you is that make sure that you know your trigonometric identities, because in some cases you might be asked a situation whereby you have to use trigonometric identities before you do you apply your differentiation. But I will show you on the next video, which will be differentiation problem. So let us if we are given a question like this and we are asked to differentiate, we'll do it like 4 multiplied by 3 6x. Then remember we said that you must say ln of a. Your a in this case is your 3, so it's gonna be ln of 3. Then multiply, I said we multiply by the derivative of f of x or of x. So in this case, this is your f of x. So we'll say multiply by 6, then plus. Remember I said in this situation you just copy it exactly as it is, then you multiply by the derivative of the exponent. So it will be 2e minus 2x, then multiply by negative 2. That's it. Nothing complicated here. Let's okay, let me just do one more last before we wrap up. 4 log 5, then 3x, then they say minus 6 ln of 10x. So if you are asked to derive something like this, you will say 4. Remember I said on top we put the derivative of f of x. This is your f of x. Then we'll say 3 over, then you put the f of x as it is, then ln of 5, then minus 6. Then we said on top, in this case we put the derivative, so it's gonna be 10 over 10x, because here we put the f of x, and the f of x is only 10x. So we are done for this video. I'll post another video where I show you differentiation problems. This is only part 1. It was only dealing with the rules, basic rules that you need. The second video will also contain things like product rule and other laws. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.